Now welcome back to the 7th CSS tutorial of learning how to code for Pidgin English. For inside this tutorial, we go dey look at floating. The best idea wey you fit use to imagine wetin floating be say e just dey give us the authority, the power to carry something to either left or right, so nothing really big for inside am. So wetin I go just do now be say I go just create a small box wey be say we fit float around, and you go remember say we don use this .boku class inside this our CSS file now take create a box. So I go just copy this one comot here like this. I go just cut am comot here like this. As I don cut this information comot here like this, I go come here come do div. You see this div wey I just do now, I go still explain am in details as we dey go along. Make I just do this div tag here first to take explain how floating works. So wetin I go just do now be say I go just paste that class wey I copy from this h1 tag wey contain this CodeNPidgin. So this one mean say I don create box like this. You know say we don give border width, border color, border style and margin for this one like this. So wetin I go just do be say I go just save this information, come go reload am for inside our website. Now you see say this CodeNPidgin as e dey here like this CodeNPidgin wey you dey see so, you see say you no get anything around am again. You go come see say na the box wey we draw na im be this one. But wetin dey happen now for here be say we no get any con ten t inside our box, so e no know how to apply the padding inside our box. But because say we no get con ten t inside our box, so instead of putting padding, we go just apply height. So wetin I go just do be say I go just come back into our sublime text. So instead of this margin, I go just talk say height. So this height now I go just talk say make e take 70 pixels. If I save this information like this, come go back to our browser, reload our browser. Now shey you see say the height of our box don increase. As you dey see this information like this, so we wan come practicalize wetin floating mean. So I go back to our sublime text like this. Make I just close this one comot. I go come go back to our sublime text like this inside our CSS file now. And you go remember say I tell you say anytime wey you wan do floating, the first thing wey you gats need, wey you go do be say you go give am width. So I go just come here give this one width like this. So inside this width now I go just put say make I give am 55px. So I go just go back to our browser now, reload our browser. Now you don see say this 55px don dey attached to our box. Shey you see am so? So the box no dey expand across our website, so because we don restrict am. Now e go dey easy for us to float am around our website. So wetin I go just do now be say I go just come back to our sublime text inside our CSS file now. I go just talk say float. Now because say na right we wan float am go, now I go just talk say right. Shey you see am? So if I save this information now, go back to my browser, come reload our website. Shey you don see say this thing don float come right here. Shey you understand? So na so dem just dey float information for inside CSS. So wetin I go just do now be say make I float am come left again so that you go fit see am. So if I just click here like this, talk say left, save this file, go back to our browser, come reload am. Shey you see say this thing don float again come left as you see am. So na just the thing wey dey around floating of information for our website be that. But I go like sound this note of warning to you say if you wan float text, e dey very important for you to just use alignment. So you fit just use text alignment make you take float your text to either center, left or right. But if na box, images and things like that wey you wan float, you go just wan use properties float to either float and go left or float and go right. So as e be say we don talk about floating for inside this tutorial, na so e go be for inside this tutorial.